All right, the stream is up and running once again. Hello all and welcome back to Space Engineers. Today we are just doing a little server meetup on the Space Engineer server that's hosted through the Discord. And we're just going to check out ships, chat for a little bit, and look at things, maybe plan some future events. That's the goal at least. This is fairly informal. It's the first event we've run on the server in forever, like a year. I don't know. It seems like at least a year. So set up a little safe zone for everyone to park stuff in. It looks like it's pretty much just me and one other faction that has shown up. Not sure who all these ships belong to, but they do look somewhat organized. Similar color scheme and whatnot. This looks like a longboy, like a Prototech longboy. I don't know if that's what this is. I don't know if this has been converted or if it's just vanilla for the most part. I don't think I've ever seen an intact longboy before, so I don't know if this is what they actually look like. I'm guessing some of this stuff has been modified at least. I'll have to check that one out at some point here. This is a completely original ship, it looks like. Also kind of surprised to see it in space, considering it looks like it's mostly atmospheric, though it has tons of hydrogen thrusters, so obviously it works in space as well. Interesting design. We're gonna have to get tours of all these. Lots of exterior walking space on this one. Hey AWOL, how's it going? Long time no see. Still doing the Elite Dangerous stuff. This little ship over here has 2 Prototech jump drives on it, which is kind of crazy. This thing can go so far. Also looks like an original ship. Got an ore detector. It's like a scout ship or a tugboat. I guess a jump tug. Distant Worlds 3 is going now until April sometime. Ah, okay. That like the newest update or expansion or whatever to Elite Dangerous. That's cool. Hey PVT. I like this ship. I haven't farmed hardly any Prototech on this server. I started doing it and then banned the guy I was playing with, kind of stopped playing, and I got busy with other things and then never came back to it. I think I have like a few Prototech parts, but not any actual blocks. Access isn't denied. I guess hopefully no one minds if I do this, but I'm gonna take quick tours of people's ships. I'm just gonna turn on admin tools so I can do it. I will try not to let out all their air though. So they got a full airlock in here. It does look like this one's sucking air out, so it's functional. Ooh. Fully decorated interior. I'm gonna turn off all of our HUD garbage so I can see normally. The community ran deep space expedition, 8,500 plus people. That's crazy. That sounds really cool though. I love the idea of having a massive community, like community run events like that. That's really cool. It's too bad that Space Engineers isn't more multiplayer. It is multiplayer, but it's not massively multiplayer. Though I don't know how you'd do that in SE anyway. I don't know how that would work. You'd have to have some sort of instance-based servers or world like systems where only a certain number of people were allowed in the systems. I could have swore at one point in the distant past of Space Engineers they had announced that their goal was to get to like 100 people on a server stably. I could be completely making that up, but it has obviously never happened. The last time there was a major server update, they increased the number of people that could be on a server, but decreased the number, like the PCU limit of everyone on a server. So I don't know, like I'm sure there was a bunch of optimization that happened, but at the time I was kind of just like, wait, so you made it better, but you didn't allow anything more. Like, you didn't allow more stuff. This is kind of a cool little ship, though. It looks like you can land on planets and everything, too. I bet that's enough hydrogen to land on a planet. As long as it doesn't have tons of cargo filled up, should be fine. I see... Oh, yeah, that's right here. Oh, there's a little upstairs here. A little bathroom. Shower on the other side. Very cool. Looks like it's battery powered. It's probably battery powered when it's jumping. Does it have a reactor? Oh, it's got a bunch of small reactors. Okay. So it can recharge with the reactors. And then also that's supplemented with batteries probably. I know the prototype jump drives slurp a lot of power when they're recharging. Cool though. We don't have a jump ship set up for our faction yet. Normally the Crow over here would be our jump ship. But we never found the jump drive to put in here. Normally this we would swap out and we'd put a prototype jump drive in there. That's why it's kind of just exposed on the surface. Calling elite massively multiplayer is generous. At most, we managed to get 150 plus people in an instance, but even that is pushing it. Oh, yeah. Well, you have kind of a shared universe, though, right? From what I understand, I haven't looked into the game a ton, but you kind of share a universe with other players and markets, maybe, with other players. Hey, Hellflanker. Going well. How are you? This is a original ship, it looks like. This next one here. I should hover over them with to see who actually built these ships. So this was PVT, at least presumably. It's all shared. That's, yeah, see, that's nice. I think that's kind of the way to go for space games if you want to have a lot of multiplayer stuff, is you have instance-based encounters and then shared economy, shared universe, shared info about the universe. So if one player goes out and does something in the universe, it can be not necessarily affect what others are doing, but the information can be shared. I don't know. It's kind of a good idea. I like that this is semi-symmetrical. I do this a lot with my ships where it kind of looks symmetrical, but then on the inside it's not necessarily symmetrical. Oh gosh, they don't have gravity extending outside. Let's get in here. Kind of a rustier theme in this one. Looks like another full airlock. I don't see an air vent in here though. So I guess we'll just be careful with the doors. Ooh. Doors are locked open. That's nice. Let's go towards the back of the ship first. We got a respawn point. Cargo access. Got the ship mostly done. Okay. We'll, like, I'll come pick you up or teleport you or something. Sail them in a minute. I'm gonna finish looking at this ship. And then I'll do that. Oh, not having gravity. Dude, good lord. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I couldn't get down those stairs without gravity. Maybe I can turn that on. In the front bridge area. Pretty straightforward. It really bothers me that they're missing certain blocks for these bridges. Can't believe it. They're always missing blocks. What can you do? It looked like... Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. So the exit is in line with this, and the other exit isn't an exit because they probably have all the piping on that side. Yeah, they got the survival kit and this. What's down here? I'm worried to go down these stairs because I know I'm not going to be able to get back up. Doing good, Hellflanker. That is good to hear. I like using these things as windows up and down like this. I think this looks really nice. Yeah. Using these this way, I don't know why, but I almost like them better this way than the other way. Though this desk is a little bit funky. Why is that desk white and this one's rusty? I guess it's kind of beat up. Looks like living quarters down here. What is this? Oh, storage things that are partially welded. Interesting. I need to turn this ship into a wreck. This is kind of a cool one. This would be fun to explore in survival. Like look around in it. Rebuild it. It's already kind of rusty and everything, so. My boots keep getting detached from the ground though. It's getting annoying. We need to get out of here. Or I go insane. Oh wait, is that cargo access right there? Ah, that's nice. Exterior cargo access right by the door. Close the door for him. Okay. Big cargo container, batteries. This is a prototype refinery. And the new type jump drive. Dude, I haven't actually built with any of the new type blocks from the most recent update. I haven't played hardly at all since the, was it 209 update? So I have never even built one of these. I have to say it looks really nice. Does it line up perfectly with full block height? Yeah, it does. Good. And it actually looks really good for the half block height here too. They're doing a really good job with the new models. Definitely higher standards than their old ones. Very nice. Look at all the pipes going around the outside of this vehicle. Kind of interesting. I never build this way, but it kind of looks cool. Very patchy. So many different colors. Neat. All right. Salem, was it? Are you the person that's asking me to come pick you up? Salem. All right. Are you in a spot where I can do that? Where I can teleport to you while I'm streaming? And like, do you care if I do that? Not that it really matters on our server. Everyone's pretty peaceful. I grab some O2 bottles and I'll tell you when I'm in my ship. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to like teleport to you and then sit in your cockpit or something and then teleport back here. That's usually how I have to teleport. I just need to sit in a chair on your ship and you have to be sitting in it too, and then I teleport you and the ship. If that's all right. Okay. Can you jump out of your cockpit real quick so I can find you by searching players? I can't tell who's who. Okay, this is Salem. Okay, nice. Sweet. Interesting little rigmarole here. Cool. Ah, this guy. Look at all those guns. There's a lot of guns. Got a pointy nose too. Kind of reminds me of a mosquito. All right. We'll slap a bench on here. I think I might need to make an ice run though. Okay. Yeah, we're in no hurry here. We're just hanging out. Yeah, disconnect before teleport. Yeah, I was going to ask him to do that, but he needs to do ice first, so. Otherwise, yeah, I teleport him and every single grid that's attached. The whole base moves. That'd be bad. I've done that before, so I don't think I'll make that mistake again. Oh, I did that with one of my own bases once. I meant to just teleport my character, and I forgot that I was laying in a bed and not just standing there with my character. I teleported my whole base like right out of a planet. It was a disaster. Trying to do admin things and forgot I was in a bed. As long as you have enough to just maneuver around a little bit, you could pull hydrogen from my ship once you get there too. I have tons, so. I think he's disconnected here. Yeah, those are yellow. I don't see any merge blocks. That shouldn't be attached. I don't want to mess with anything. That just needs to be locked, and then it should be able to slurp some hydrogen from the base. Have you still been working on your flight assistant project, AWOL? I haven't checked in on that in a long time. Cool, cool. There you go. Looks like you've got some gas in this bird. We should do some events. Nova is still around and being updated regularly. Cool. Very cool. It's nice that you can access their API and potentially like draw information directly from the game to that. Trying to think of how something like that could be done for SE. It would be so cool in combat to be able to just like verbally tell your ship to do things. The thing is, it's always a little bit delayed because you got to run it through like an LLM, and then if you're actually telling it to run commands in the game, it then has to parse what you're saying into actionable things. So it'd be an interesting project to do, but probably not realistic for SE. All right, you ready to go, Salem? Should I teleport you? Legit built it in 80 minutes. I mean, it's a cool build. Engage ludicrous speed. All right. We're going to teleport over to my ship. What are my ships named? Wait, we have a ship called Longboy? Since when do we have HGG Longboy? Well, I wonder if Band made some ships and gave them weird names. Alright. Welcome to the bubble. I might leave this bubble up and then allow building in it so we can do a group build project here. It'd be fun to do a large like mothership kind of build together. Everyone can supply different parts and materials, and everyone can just log in and work on whatever they feel like working on. You just notify like in the Discord chat what you're working on. Say you're working on a bridge or an engine room or something. You get close to real time, but not quite there. There's a delay. Yeah, I'm actually surprised you get anywhere near real time with that. It's pretty impressive. Little fighter. I have a fighter too. It doesn't have nearly as many guns, but I do have a little printer set up for it. Game is struggling. Yeah. Game is struggling a little bit right now. We have a lot of stuff parked in the vicinity. Whoa! Oh my lord. I did not see you. I did not see you, whoever that is. Bonk. That's why damage is off inside here, I guess. Oh, what's that on your nose? Wait a second. Oh, you got a drill on your nose. Well, good thing damage is off, because that would have probably just blown my hydrogen tank up. That's funny. Oh, wait, well, nice. Yeah, that looks like a starter ship. You've got food production. That's funny. Food production, you can make kelp crisps in the survival kit, right? Someone pointed that out to me in a comment on one of my videos. I was like, I was talking about how there isn't a small grid food production, but yeah. I did not know that you could do that. Where is it? Oh, yeah, it has a food item. You can make kelp crisps in the survival kit. That's really nice. Yeah, the tail section of your ship, Salem, is kind of nice. It's an interesting tapered design with all the thrusters and whatnot. Tons of little thrusters. Do you have a large tank on this? Is there one behind all this stuff, I'm assuming? Or is it all small tanks? A large tank. Yeah, I didn't get very far on this server, honestly. Ben and I played together for a couple weeks and very slowly built up to pretty much what you see here is everything we have. We do have a base that's in space, but it's not decorative at all. It's just a bunch of functional blocks stuck together, sitting in the crater of an asteroid somewhere. I'm pretty happy with the one large ship that we have. I did design that one specifically for this server, so we got one new ship. The rest of our ships are all from previous server versions. We just printed them up. Can I drive your little ship around? I want to see how it feels, Salem. Alright. Kind of feels like flying in a dragonfly. I gotta take it outside and shoot its guns. There's probably no ammo, is there? So many guns and no ammo. Not enough gyros or reverse thrust. Yeah, it could use another gyro or two. Maybe like 2 more regular gyros. If you had a prototech gyro to sneak in there, that'd probably be excessive, but it would be all you needed. That's a data reader for the... what is that mod called? Radio spectrometry? That's what's on the back of this. That's why there's a giant LCD on the back here. Interesting. Alright. I'll take a quick tour of some of our little builds. Ben and I found this one. This was a little... what is it called? The name should be on the beacon. Medical shuttle? Why is the beacon not on? It's weird. Run out of power? Yeah, maybe it ran out of power. Well, we can solve that problem. Pretty sure I have uranium in here somewhere. Just stick a little bit of uranium in this thing. We'll see if the door works. No, the door's off. I don't think I can access the reactor from outside. Pretty sure I can access it from inside if I can get inside. Let's turn the ship back on with our fighter. Holy moly. What the heck just happened? Someone just run into me? Okay. Dude. When I attach, it automatically turns my batteries to recharge. There we go. Now I should be able to get inside. Okay, there's our cargo. You have reactor access? I guess we don't have direct access to the reactor. That's okay. That fixes it. We'll park this ship back over here. All ships spawned are built on the server? Yeah, so every ship that's here right now was built in survival on the server. All the ships right here. This is one of the vanilla NPC ships. We just retrofit the thing to make it more, I don't know, efficient, effective. So it has a proper airlock now because this block right here protects the air from going out. Got cargo access on the inside. Kind of a full interior. Turn my lights off. Bathroom back here. Shower. Bed. A little bit of everything. And then this is the control seat up here. Pretty close to what the original version looked like. But we did update a lot of stuff. So it has a farm up top for producing food. We have a respawn point. We don't have a jump drive, but other than that, it's a fully functional little ion ship. I don't like it. Pretty simple. The main ship for our faction is the Hamora, which is this thing right here. I wish the sun was at a better angle, but we can't really fix it. Just the way I parked, unfortunately. I parked with this, like, in the plane of the sun, so we never get good sun angles for looking at ships. At least the fleet that I brought. It's semi-symmetrical, but not entirely symmetrical. And the big drum here is a printing room. You can see that from inside. I'm going to just open the doors and leave them open for people to get in. Actually, they might close themselves. Yeah, they're going to close themselves. I guess I can temporarily allow anyone to use my doors. If anyone wants to walk around. It won't lose air either because, yeah. That is safe. I guess I have to allow all the doors to be used by anyone. But if we come down, this is the bridge right here. Big open spaces. The front of the ship is fairly decorative. I wanted to have some comfy space for us to live in. And then we have a lot of hallway space. We're just going to go back upstairs to the other decorative bits. More living area up top in the front here. This is the kitchen and dining area. The ship is kind of designed for like 8 to 12 people. It's kind of a carrier, drone carrier in a way. So our little kitchen area. I like all the decorative blocks that we have to work with finally. Little food processor or ice processor. Every floor has access to cargo. And then over here we have a bunch of lockers. The bathrooms, which is kind of a shared setup. Bunch of showers, toilets, the usual. Some plant things. I love these blocks. I had to put them in here somewhere. And then we've got some more lounge area, little gaming center. And behind here are the bedrooms, which are hooked up to the rest of the ship with air vents. Lots of beds. And this room over here is also the same. So I can walk over there. Just narrow bedrooms. Nothing special. Air vents come through there. I didn't want to make a bajillion air vents, so I used the ducts to get the air in the bedrooms. Going back from the living area, kind of a long passageway with some extra room for expanding the AI blocks of the ship. Just downstairs here in the other hallway, we have more of that. Got some decorative stuff back here, but then this is more of the brains of the ship. And behind this wall is cargo containers. There's huge cargo containers behind there, right in the middle of the ship. And this other hallway is where I have access to repair my jump drive. And then this, I believe, is our stone refinery. So we can get rid of stone quickly. It's dedicated to that. Hey. I'm trying to remember to set my doors so anyone can use. Welcome. I'll go through and do that with all these doors too, so people can walk around in them if they want. You can use the bathrooms. You know, I should just get all the doors and do this all at once. I don't know why I was doing this individually. There we go. Problem solved. Now y'all can walk around. Yeah, going back through this hallway, you get to the printer room. This is, once again, just like a simple key and airlock using the curved heavy armor panel. And this is where we print our ships, our small fighters and drones and all that. I think I have it set up to print drones right now. I actually have it set up to print fighters too, but we'll see if we can just print a drone. Shouldn't take too long. Kind of just extends out. I don't know if it's gonna work though, because I have welding turned off in the safe zone. Yeah, it's not gonna work. All right, well, I don't feel like changing that. Let's end that print. Just rotate this back to vertical. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to work at the moment because we're in a safe zone where welding's turned off. But basically, it just projects the ship, rotates for a set period of time. All the welders print it, and then when it's done, it rotates back upside right, and I can open the doors and fly it straight out. It's pretty convenient. That's how we usually go about getting prototype stuff. We just print drones or print our fighters that we go and fight things with. Yeah, this is a bit of a mess. This was supposed to be 2 more jump drives back here, but then I built the whole ship and realized I didn't have any reversing thrusters, and I didn't want to put any on the outside, so I'm like, you know what? We'll just shove some in the back here. And then I kind of ended up liking it, so. I like the way ships look when they don't have tons of reversing thrust. Internal thrusters. Yeah. It's all right. There's not a whole lot else to the interior of the ship. Just this big bay drum for printing stuff. We've got our shop and whatnot over here in our safe zone all set up. Don't ever use it, but we'd use it if we were going to visit some prototech and steal it all. I'm gonna vent this room. Suck all that stuff out. I think we're probably actually full in our tanks, so I'm just gonna open the door. Yep. That's that whole ship. The outside has a bunch of algae farms, kind of all over the place, and oxygen farms, so I don't ever have to worry about running out of food or air. I love these half-size ones, so I've been using those a lot. And then, of course, tons of space to dock ships on it, and enough guns to give it full coverage. It's not something I plan to fly into combat, but at least it can defend itself from a drone or players or Hydra-men for a short period before I jump out. Yeah, most of that is pretty much vanilla. I think that's how it looked for the most part when we got it. We repainted it a bit, and we tweaked a few things so that we could fit in a bunch more functional blocks. But for the most part, that's what it looked like. Yeah, just different colors. We added some of the top ridge. Yeah, it was an interesting puzzle to try and fit in a full set of functional blocks so it could be a standalone ship and not have to recharge off of other things or get food anywhere else. Pretty happy with that one. This ship down here is Band's trading ship. There really isn't an interior to it. It's just a bunch of deck work and then jump drive. Lots of easy places to attach. And then lots of up thrusts so that we could take it down onto a planet if we wanted to. These thrusters up front here are completely dysfunctional. I don't know why they're still here. They're a relic from when the ship was designed. And then we realized we needed to put a jump drive somewhere, and that used to be a hydrogen tank, so we just stuffed a jump drive where the hydrogen tank used to be and never got rid of the thrusters that were attached through it. So there's definitely some things that need to be optimized, but... And I know we have a version of this that was more optimized on the previous server, but for some reason this was the only one we had a blueprint of, so that's what we ended up printing. Our drill ship over here is the same as the one from our previous server too. Only on the previous server it had a Prototech drill on the front, and then it fit perfectly behind that. But it has no interior or anything, it's just jump drives, cargo, and drills. That's what we do all our space mining with. Simple setup. It actually works pretty well with the regular drills too, but eventually we'll get a Prototech drill going for it, just to save on PCU, and because it looks cooler that way. It's always what it comes down to. It just looks a little bit better that way. Yeah, we don't have an actual large grid military ship for our faction yet on the server. It was something we were talking about building. It was the last thing we were talking about building before we stopped playing as much, so it never got started. We did get our drones built. We were going to try and do a drone carrier, and then I programmed the drones. So right now, with the single press of a button when I'm sitting in the main control seat, this little drone will go out and start patrolling around our ship, and then I can recall it, or if it finds a target, it'll go fight the target until it gets a certain distance away. And it's entirely controlled in the main ship without me having to actually remote control it. So it's all AI controlled. And unfortunately, I can't print up copies of it on the server and have the AI be functional, because I have to then go reset up all and like relink all the AI blocks, which is too much of a headache. So we never got the drone carrier thing off the ground, because it just doesn't work in a multiplayer setting, because we can't print the things and have them remember from the blueprint their association and like relative home grids and things like that. So I was a little bit disappointing. Another one of those things where we tried to do a playthrough in a certain way and then found out later in that attempt that it was not possible in Space Engineers, even though we were kind of hoping it was. Yeah, I wish... Part of the problem is when you print a blueprint, say you print a remote control that references a control group that includes blocks that are not printed. So it only includes blocks which have not been printed yet. That control group just won't be on the control set or control bar. So like for this ship, I can print this one up and it remembers everything, because the last things I print are the cockpit and the remote controls on it. I put the remote controls way up front by the cockpit, and I print it from the back to the front, so it doesn't have that problem. But I did not do that with my drone, and even if I had done that with my drone, and it could remember associations within the grid, it wouldn't remember its association with the mother grid, the carrier ship. So I would still have to go set up relative docking points and all that other stuff every single time with every drone, which is actually a huge pain to do. So I was really hoping, because I was going to make like 7 or 8 of these drones, and I was going to set up printer things for all of them once they were set up with the ship. That way, once we finished a battle, I could recall the drones, and whichever ones didn't come back, I could see what numbers they were and print those numbers, and then have them automatically fly out and attach where they're supposed to. That was the goal, the hope. Turns out that doesn't work at all, so we never got that plan off the ground. Really wanted to play in survival as a drone carrier, but without being able to automate all of that, it's just unrealistic. It becomes too much of a pain. We did go out and try and fight something, but our drones just all died, and then we didn't feel like going through and programming them all again. Yeah, that was the plan for this playthrough. Never got off the ground, though. Only real way to do it would be print off the drones at their respective connectors. Even doing that wouldn't work, because I still have to set... I have to go into the drone and tell it that the home beacon is the beacon on that grid, and then I would still have to set up the AI flight recorder blocks. Those ones don't remember their stuff for whatever reason. Maybe it's different now, or maybe I was doing it wrong, but when we did it, they did not work. They did not remember what they were supposed to be doing. This is kind of a cool ship. Wait, I'm upside down, aren't I? Oh no, I'm not. The cockpit's a hanging cockpit, right? Yeah, I haven't used that block either yet. Very cool. Just do disposable drones? Yeah. You do disposable drones, and that's kind of what... Well, all of these drones were disposable. The problem is I can't reprint new disposable drones, really. Unless you're saying just print them and send them off and don't ever try and recall them. But it'd be cool if I could recall them. I would feel much more like a carrier ship if I recalled the drones and had them come back and could reuse them. I'm gonna go in here. These are cool doors, too. Lots of new stuff. D2 hauler I got from PVT. Cool. The inside looks familiar. Must be similar to the other one they made. The seat's kind of hard to get into from the back, but it looks cool. What's the first person look like? Yeah, pretty nice. Kind of a bubble cockpit. Cool. What's this block? Oh, it's the survival kit. Sideways. I didn't recognize it right away. Alright, back outside. Looks like a little small drill ship on the bottom. Parked upside down, and then a bunch of stuff just slapped on the top. Refinery, Portatech refinery, just glued to the side. A bunch of Portatech blocks kind of just glued on. A little bit haphazard, but alright. Understandable. That's usually how I carry my Portatech around. The ship is growing uncontrollably. Alright. Continue looking through these ships from that end. This looks like a big red that has been retrofit. The top is completely different. That used to be... Oh. Okay, it's not entirely different. There's still cargo containers up here, but there's also a Portatech jump drive, which is really cool. 2 of them. Holy moly. Dude. PVT has a lot of Portatech stuff. Holy cow. That's another ship with 2 Portatech jump drives on it. If not more, inside. E60, but heavily modified? Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I thought this was big red. Obviously not. B60. I've redone all of these ships. It's just been so long. Yeah, this one's completely redone because this was not a full airlock in here. I'm really curious. Okay, this is familiar. That hasn't changed a ton. This part right here. I think there used to be side rooms. Oh, hey. PVT's just sitting here? Who is this? The heck? You have 4 more jump drives at base? You're overdone the prototype hunting a little? Yeah, dude. That's a lot of jump drives. That's cool, though. We don't have a single one in our faction yet. Life goals, eventually. This room was here before, but it's definitely been redone. It's not the original room. Coming up. This is completely new, too, because this used to be a junction. They've turned this into living quarters. This used to be a small junction with little airlocks with nothing in them. Much nicer now. Very cool. I'm gonna close the doors so people don't die in here. Looks like the doors do not close automatically, so let's just be nice and keep them all closed. What is this going on here? Scaffolding sloped frame. Interesting. Kind of a cool look. Oh, these inset lights are cool too. Have not used those. Really like using these new seats. The new seats are cool. But that one's gonna get hit with like a Gatling gun bullet and fall off. I don't know if that's secure exactly. Looks cool though. Something comical about you sitting on the desk with the computer. Yeah. He's just hanging out. Watching the stream on the desk. Yeah. Alright, everyone in the airlock. Recycling it. Alright. Roll yourselves. That's nice. I like that. Another unique radar. Does it have more hydrogen on it? I don't remember all this being hydrogen. I've redone these so many times I can't remember what is vanilla and what isn't anymore. Okay, so this is mostly atmospheric, but there's a lot more hydrogen on the back here too. That's different. Yeah, this next one's cool. This is an original one. At least I haven't seen a vanilla ship anything like this before, so. Lots of atmospheric thrusters. It's almost kind of reminds me of an atmospheric carrier type design where you've got this big bay where you could dock things in. I imagine you could dock a bunch of speeders or something in here, which would be really cool, and then you could pull them out and just fly off out of the ship. Looks like it could land fairly well too on the surface, and you've got ramps to get up it. Go from scratch here on the server. Nice. Very cool. Got your gravity up there right in the center. I approve. Lots of lighting. It's kind of an open design, which is nice. And then you've got an interior here that's no longer pressurized. That is an airlock though. If you have time, the next iteration of the server, I might do another Lincoln ship using the vanilla stuff. Yeah, that'd be neat. Just whatever you find or you buy, you just keep adding to it. I did not realize that this ship had so much interior space. Dang. Got the flight area. Ooh. Little downwards facing windows, so when you're on a planet you can look down. It's kind of neat. I might wonder how that would look if it was placed in this block. The other way around, you know? So it's not like something you trip and fall into. It's something that's like a bubble there. I don't know. Just thinking out loud here. Oh, cryosleep. Like, what are these bubbly things? Oh, man. It's like I've never played this game before. What the heck? Oh, no, that was an airlock. I'm sorry. Your air's gone again. I didn't realize we were going back outside. I should have realized it, because obviously we're outside here. Okay, oh, this is the Type 2 regular jump drive. Holy cow, there's a lot of them. A lot of jump drives on the back here. That's neat. It's got the Prototech coloring too. Wait a second. Okay, it does have hydrogen on it. Okay, it's got enough hydrogen to lift off. If it's not full of stuff. Though with all of that atmospheric, I bet it might actually be fine, even loaded up. If the atmosphere can lift it high enough. Not a ton of hydrogen, just barely enough, it looks like, to maneuver in space a little bit. Mostly atmospheric. It can cruise on Atmos only? Yeah, I believe it, for sure, on a planet. It's nice. And yeah, that pattern's nice up top, too. It kind of reminds me of... I did a ship with a similar-ish pattern that I bet would look nice as a partnership to this. Let me see if I can slap that in real quick. It's actually the first thing I thought of when I saw it. I'm like, oh, that looks kind of familiar. It's completely different, but they look like they go well together. I have too many things. It always takes me so long to load my blueprints. I need to move like 90% of my blueprints into their own folder again. See, doesn't it kind of look like this vehicle? It's even almost the same colors. Slightly different colors. Slightly different paint. But if you built both of these ships and told me that they went together, you built them designed together, I would believe you. It's just the white pattern with the gray ribbing that's slightly angled. And it's also mostly atmospheric with just enough hydrogen to fly around in space. This is a pretty old build of mine, but I think it can. That's what I was just going to test. I think it'll fit in just barely. I mean, it's kind of perfect, actually. Good enough. Yeah, I didn't do a very good parking job, but you get the idea. There is enough room to walk around the front and the back of it, I think. Yeah. Yeah, definitely some nice looking ships from these guys' faction on server. I like that one a lot. But yeah, it gives me vibes like it's similar to the Nora here. It even kind of has a bubbly cockpit. They go well together. If I had this big ship, I would make this small ship and I would park it in the bay here. Alright, I gotta make sure I'm not deleting everything. Alright, just want to get rid of that. Holy moly. Gotta be careful with that. Looks cool though. This next one is also lots of atmospheric thrusters. Do you take all your ships down on the planets? Because usually I have one ship that's large grid that I can take on the planets, and the rest of them just stay in space. I usually don't make them all planetary capable. Like, I don't think Yeah, there's no way the Homura is gonna land on a planet. Unless it's empty, maybe? But I think all of these ones can. You always try to? Yeah. Yeah, jack of all trades. If they can do everything, it is nice. And it looks like this one can also fly without hydrogen on a planet, which is really nice. This one has way more hydrogen thrusters, though, so I bet it flies better in space than the other one. So much walking space on this one. I like it. Ooh. Full three-way airlock with 2 doors that go outside. I don't know the necessity of that, but interesting. Goes straight into the bedroom. And then this goes up for these doors. Medical center on the left. Like it's got a timer too with it. And then kitchen area. Nice. And then the bridge. Ooh. I always forget about these blocks too. Should use those more often. The angled LCDs are nice. Decorative programmable block over there. Some beverages in case you're parked and just hanging out on the bridge because it's got a nice view. I always try and do that. I always try and add some lounging on my bridge. For any ship I'm going to be parking in space or something. We got a bathroom back here. Cool. I thought that was going to go much further back into the back of the ship, but that's all right. Looks like mostly functional block gridding from there back and exterior space, so large reactor. Ooh, what's this? Access area. Cargo access? Okay. Nifty. More cargo access back here. Oh, more sneaky ladders. Oh, here they are. More Prototech jump drives. There's so many of these. Disgusting. Rich. Filthy rich. There we go. Climb the ladder the right way. Oh, you've got a dome back here. And another... Oh, why are there so many ladders? Nasty ladders. Ugh. Gyros. Gravity. Tons of gyros. Some batteries. More ladders. Okay, we'll go down those in a second. Huh. What's up here? Cargo. Oh, these go down to the surface. Okay. That's acceptable. That way you can get back up in there if it's landed on a planet. Let's look inside this back area. Okay. We use the airlock correctly. Oh, it's the food production. Nice. It's too bad that they still haven't automated planting. I feel like that is a very clear misread for space engineers. My issue with the fact that planting isn't automated is that... How do I put this? Space Engineers is a game about solving problems. And the way they have implemented automatic picking is a perfect example of making an addition to the game correctly. They have created a problem that has infinite solutions. There are infinite ways to solve the automatic picking problem. And there's a lot of really cool ways to do it. People have come up with crazy things. On the flip side, poor implementation of an idea, they have not allowed for any automated planting. So they have created a problem with no solution. Well, with one solution. You go around and you plant it by hand. And that one solution is a very boring solution, and it's very demanding, and it limits your options in play. In my opinion, they should not be doing those things. They should be increasing options, not decreasing options. And they should allow for automatic planting in a way that has infinite solutions, right? Because then you improve replayability of the game, you allow for more creativity, right? Like the motto of the game is need to create, right? Not need to babysit plants, which is what it feels like you have to do if you ever want to grow better food than kelp crisps, which is why I have not been eating anything but kelp crisps on this entire playthrough. But I don't know, my recommendation for plant stuff is to create a solution that is, or to allow for automation in a way that's different than the planting. So you have to have two different solutions to the whole food system. So we have automatic picking with subgrids, or, you know, standalone flying ships. Infinite ways to solve that problem. All really cool. Great way to do it. For automatic planting, what I think they should do is, and this is like a really simple change, but I think it would be really good. Basically, you give them an inventory, a one inventory slot, and it only accepts seeds. So right now they have like water tank technically in as like their inventory. You should have like a physical inventory, like a cargo container inventory that only accepts seeds. And every, I don't know, whatever, however many game ticks you want to make it, it checks to see if there's nothing planted in it. And if it has power and there's nothing planted in it, it consumes one of the seeds out of its inventory and it plants it automatically. That's all you have to do. That's the only change you have to make. And now people are going to have tons of new problems to solve that are all going to be interesting. For example, how do you determine what seeds you want in like different rows? You're going to have to use the item filter blocks, the cargo contain or the conveyor filter. That thing has basically no usage nowadays, but allowing these blocks, these farm plots, to have a inventory that accepts seeds would give you like a million more reasons to use the filter, the conveyor filter. And there's a million ways you could solve that too. Like you could just push seeds in, but then if you're just pushing seeds in randomly and you're not regulating which seeds go into which plots, then you might not grow all the different types of things that you want. So now you got to create a system where you have multiple filters going to different rows of plants. And how are you then going to determine how to make sure that you always have seeds? If you're automatically picking, you're going to have to then queue up a certain number of conversions from the picked product to the seed version. And that you can do with event controllers based off of inventory size, inventory fill limit. So you're creating a whole bunch of like programming side solutions for this whole food problem that, yes, eventually it will be able to be fully automated, but there's a whole bunch of new things now that you have to solve to do it. And I don't know, that's where I would have gone with the food system. I don't know why they're resistant to allowing full automation of food, because right now in survival, if you have food enabled, you're either eating kelp crisps because they are fully automatable, or you're babysitting your food because that's the only way to do it now. You have to come back every half an hour and replant your stuff if you want to do it efficiently. And I think most people who play Space Engineers have an urge to do things as efficiently as possible. So yeah, it's, I don't know. I could rant about that for days, but that's my short version of the rant. They should make full automation for food, planting and picking. And for all they have to do for planting is add an inventory and pull a seed from that inventory and automatically plant it. You don't even have to limit that inventory to only holding seeds, because we can use filters to force only seeds to go in there. Like, it's not a hard thing to do. I think it would just be adding a few lines of code, because they don't have to change anything graphically. They don't have to change the function of any other block. It's just the farm plot. They could tweak it. And that one little tweak would be massively beneficial to the game, to the food system in the game, in my opinion. It would be more in line with what I think the vision of Space Engineers is, which is a problem-solving game, creativity game, not a babysitting game. Or like a game where you have daily tasks that you have to physically go do that are fairly mundane. I don't know what the ship is. It's another PVT ship. Looking nice. Come in, and we're going to go towards the front of the ship here. Large industrial cargo. This kind of feels like a mothership. Is this original? Is this fully original? Or is this a converted Longboy from the Factorum? The floor makes me think it might be Factorum because this looks like vanilla building style floor. This is a captured and redesigned to hydrogen Factorum transport. Okay. So it's heavily redesigned if it's switched to hydrogen. But it does look familiar, so I'm glad I got that somewhat right. That it is the Factorum design originally. And we got some kelp crisps. Yeah, if you go... Actually, I can just hand you some, because I don't know if you can get some out of my ship. Let's close that. Is this one pulling air out? Let's close that. Okay. I have kelp crisps I can throw to you, and then we'll finish this tour. Food in Ingram. I wonder how many kelp crisps I have. This ship has just been chilling, doing nothing for months. 8,746 kelp crisps. We got a few. I'm going to throw a couple hundred. Sail them in your fighter. So that if you need more, you just have some. Where is your fighter, by the way? Okay, that's AWOL's ship over there. Where's your fighter? How come I don't see it? Is it hiding? It's so small, I just don't see it. It was over here last I saw it. But it's not here anymore. I docked it in the Sparrow's Bay. Okay. That's over here somewhere, right? Ah, here we go. There you go. Food for all. Let's get back on this ship. Dang, this thing is huge. Crazy. Alright, back part of the ship. Clear up our HUD again. A little room over here. I like all the lighting. I'm terrible about making nice lighting for my ships, but the ambient lighting in this ship is really nice. Everything feels cozy. The bedrooms are nice and dim. The control rooms are well lit, but the light isn't flooding through everywhere. It's a nice big... Oh, it's... a little room for launching stuff. Or for just opening it up and dropping supplies out, I imagine. That's probably how the Factorum originally intended it to be used. Just a loading bay for parts. Gravity, central in the ship. Very nice. Central-ish. Ooh, I like the purple lighting on these. Again, I only ever use white lighting because I'm lazy. Throwing barrels to people, yeah. Ooh. Decorative bubbly blocks. These aren't actually functional, right? The lab experiment things? I don't think they do anything. They just look cool. This is just the other lab thing. The new O2H2 kind of bubbles like that too, but that's not what that is. All the little details in this ship. Timer blocks, control blocks, food processing back here, survival kit. Should probably eat something, so when I come out of admin mode, I don't just die right away. Ah, here they are. This is where the little prototech gyros are. Look at my lights aren't working. Oh, now they're working. What the heck? Was I just pressing the wrong button? Probably. A ladder. The bane of my existence. Wonderful. Just to get into the reactor room, though. That's fine. Is this how it always was? Is this how the Prototech ship is on the inside? I think I've only captured one of these in many pieces just to get the gyros, because are there gyros on this normally? Are there 2 gyros? And then the thruster? Reactor's in the same place? Yeah, the reactor room is actually pretty nice. Aside from there being a ladder, but I'll allow it. Just this once. I would probably just put some stairs there and put a door at the bottom. But, you know, that's me. I'm not a huge fan of ladders. They look cool, I just don't like using them. Tripping hazards. Suppose it's just a maintenance hatch. I probably also wouldn't mirror this. I'd put something else on the sides because, I mean, having 2 sets of ladders going to the same single hallway doesn't make any sense to me. Oh wait, it goes up too. Ah, it's just mirrored vertically, okay. That explains why it was a tripping hazard on the bottom half. They just mirrored it vertically. Cool. I would rotate the conveyors on the bottom so that they're not tripping hazards. I like it though. Very nice ship. Does it have like 5 or 6 Prototech jump drives too? Just because why not? This is my favorite room. I love this little drop room. I need to add rooms like this to my ships. Like a little port to drop things, and maybe put a small printer in this room where it can print a small grid with just a parachute right above here. And then it's just like a drop box. I can fill the box with something and then just open that, detach the little small grid, and have it drop resources to people if they're on a planet. That'd be pretty cool. Make it functional. Scout drone, yeah, that would also work. I'm gonna close this door and go back outside. I don't know if you want to come with. Out we go. Nice Prototech retrofit. Are these what I think they are? No, these are the new jump drives. Okay, they aren't Prototech jump drives. But they are jump drives. It's cool. I like the lighting up here too. Look at this blue lighting. So much color and variety. Very nice. That is the nicest fleet we've had on a server in a long time. Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's been years since we've really had someone build a full fleet of fully functional ships. I mean, everyone kind of does, but the server's been pretty quiet recently. I mean, my fleet is only a couple of ships. To be fair, though, I'm the only one playing. Or that has played somewhat recently. Check the main base and see how messy it is compared to the ships. Yeah, our main base is also just heavy armor disc, and then underneath it, it's just refining, assembling cargo. No tubes, nothing. They're just all stacked underneath it, and then we have it parked in the crater of an asteroid so that the heavy armor blocks. Because last time we were playing regularly, we still had asteroids on, and we were getting sick of having our asteroids. Having to shoot down asteroids, so we just made a lid on a crater in an asteroid. Yeah, the meteors storms were nonstop. It was like every minute we had a meteor storm. It wasn't hurting our ships, but we were going through ammo like crazy, so yeah, we just parked all our ships in the crater and then put a lid on the crater. That has been our living location for quite some time. So we need to figure out what events we should run on the server. And also get a feel for what people think about doing a server wipe in the future. I'm kind of like completely open to it, to what people want to do, and you guys are the ones that play the most, the ones that are online right now, so I honestly would leave it up to you for that. But I will mention that I'm pretty sure the next major Space Engineers update is going to require a world reset to get the new stuff, and that's going to happen in like a couple months. So do we continue with this server and then just run events on this server for the next couple of months just to start running events again and get people interested, and then do a reset when the new stuff comes out? Or do we do one now? The thing is with doing a reset soon or now is people are going to play and then we're going to have to reset it in a couple months anyway. And I kind of like things lasting a bit longer than that. So haven't done anything. Really wouldn't be peeved. Yeah, I think PVT is probably built the most on this iteration of the server. Yeah. PVT, myself, and a couple other people. Our faction does have a fairly large Earth base. That's kind of nice. That's where we started, and we built a decent base before we went to space. People were kind of burnt out by the time we got to space, I think. I say wait. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards we wait until the next update, and we just run events, because I'm happy running events on this server. We can always do races and do some NPC battles where we build a fleet. Everyone builds a warship and we take them out and we fight some NPCs together. That'd be kind of fun. We did that before. We could try it again. It's always a little bit tricky because lag issues. What I would probably do if we did that event again is I would put a PCU cap on everyone's ship so that we don't have a bunch of ships that are like 150,000 PCU trying to all come fight NPCs at the same time, because last time we did it I was getting like 1 frame per second. It was really rough and the server was really laggy too. So yeah, I'd put a limit on the ships that we can bring, and then I'd also make sure that with those limits we could fight a bunch of NPCs. Yeah, exactly. Like if we did like a 20,000 PC limit on our ships and then we brought those into battle against their ships, a lot of the people already have warships that are designed for that, so it wouldn't be bad. We could all try and print up our old designs and do battle together. I think that could be a lot of fun. I always like doing like rover races and things similar to that. So we could organize one of those too. I don't know if you would want to do one where we all race with the same rover, or if people want to design their own rovers and then race using those. That could be fun. We'd have to make some rules for it though, so that it's somewhat fair, because it's just not fun if it's not close, you know? Races become a lot less fun if there's not competition. Me and a fight decoy at best. Yeah, that's fine. The thing is, the NPCs that I would bring in for us to fight against are very manageable. I have a bunch of NPCs already built that we could battle. Basically, my entire New Age Pirates faction is all set up. I could just spawn them in and we could fight them. They're set up with like the vanilla AI blocks, so they're not super smart. Wait, cheese the prototech instead of destroying them. I fight the prototech mostly using small grid fighters so that I don't have to repair a ton. I think with the coming updates, I've heard rumor that they're going to have buying and selling maybe of ships in the most recent update. I don't know. I think that was in one of their more recent teasers on Steam. I don't know. I haven't really kept up with it, if I'm being honest. I've been so preoccupied with other things. I gotta keep up with the updates again for SE1. I've hardly used any of the stuff from the previous update. I saw that they didn't add automatic planting, and I kind of just shrugged. I'm like, okay, well, this is not super important to me, I guess. It was like the one thing I wanted. I waited to say anything about it until they got to the whole update after they added food, and then they didn't fix it. So now Now I'm talking a little bit more about why I think the food situation is not ideal. Let's close these doors. Close the printer room. Yeah, rovers could be fun. So let's plan a rover race. We'll do it on Pertam because Pertam's the best location to do anything driving related. It's got the coolest environment out of the vanilla planets, at least. And I will set up, I think I'll set up a series of waypoints. We'll all start in the same location. It will be a long distance race. And everyone can build their own rovers. I'm going to make some limitations on the rovers, though. They're going to be size limitations and I think wheel speed limitations. And things like not allowing thrusters and stuff like that, so that we have similar-ish rovers to work with. And then I'll set up some sort of course going across Pertam for us to drive. And then I'll also we'll plan an NPC battle too. These will probably be every other week. We'll do an event on the server. So the next two events will be a rover race, and then we'll do PvE against NPCs. And we'll do the rover race first, because I think it's easier to probably design and print up rovers than it will be for us to all get warships built on the server. But I will post both of the events in Discord with the rules, so people can start working on one or the other or both of them as soon as possible. The only thing we have to do is figure out what our timing is going to be then. I know a lot of people, or most of the people that play on the server regularly, are overseas. So maybe doing it at this time is not the best. I could try doing it. In the past, we've done weekends at, it's been like afternoon for me, US time, which puts it 7, 8, 9 p.m. European, which has worked out in the past, but a lot of people are also busy on weekends, so it's kind of hit or miss because of that too. But I think that might be what we try for the next events. We'll try afternoon on a Saturday or a Sunday, probably a Saturday, just because people are also busy in the mornings on Sundays a lot of times. And if it is late on a Sunday for someone overseas, and Monday morning is the next morning and they have to go to work, that's not ideal. So I think we'll shoot for afternoon US time on a Saturday for the next two events. How does that sound? The few of you that are watching that actually play on the server, everyone that's watching that doesn't play on the server is open access to anyone who wants to play. You're more than welcome to join. All the information is on my Discord, and the link to the Discord is somewhere on my stream page. It shouldn't be hard to find. I'm pretty sure I link that everywhere. That's pretty much going to be it for the meetup, though. Unless there's something else people want to discuss or show off on the server. 9 p.m. on a weekend sounds good. And you are Europe time-ish, right? One of the time zones in Europe, if I remember correctly. So that would be afternoon-ish my time. So that should work out okay. Yeah, Finland, okay. So you're like 7 hours off for me, I think. Sweet. Well, I'll try and do that then. That should work all right for most people. And I can plan around it. My schedule is pretty free usually, so as long as it's not a holiday weekend or something, we'll skip weekends like that. I'm sorry if I don't know Finnish holidays, so yeah, I don't know if they're going to be U.S. holidays that I'm worrying about. What time zone? I'm Central U.S., so Central Standard Time or Central Daylight, whatever. We do weird daylight saving things still here. Central, not East or West. Central U.S. Central North America. Chicago time if you're looking for a city. That's usually what it's listed under. I'm glad we got a few people here, though. For the first event run in like a year, it's nice to have a few people around. Pacific? Yeah. Sweet. We're gonna be in the same time zone. Huzzah! Yeah, most people I know are Mountain Time that I play games with, oddly enough. So, pretty used to organizing around other time zones. That's alright. I like all your ships. Definitely the nicest ones on the server. I really like the retrofit Longboy. And I think this one too. I like this one a lot. I like this big docking bay. I'd love to see this flying around in atmosphere or to walk around on it while it's just flying around on a planet. We need to do more events so that we have more reason to meet up and do things like this. This would be a cool ship to fly around and watch a rover race from. Or to just see hovering above the field while doing it. Very cool. Alright, I think I'm going to close out the stream here. Is there someone we should go raid? Is there anyone else playing Space Engineers now that someone recommends raiding? We got the things done that I wanted to get done. I'm going to go jump in bed and look for a channel to raid. Happy to take recommendations. Oh, that's kind of loud. We'll stand out of the bed for a minute while I try and figure this out. Always got to raid somebody, right? Is there anyone I know playing Space Engineers? I don't recognize any of these names. Is that just me? Check this person. Are they speaking English? If they're speaking English, I'm about to raid them.
Oh, rude.
Ah, yes. All right. We're going to raid Mirshko Ordo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right, but that's who we're going to raid. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming to the event. Everyone who's watching and everyone who's actually here. And looking forward to doing more events in the future on the server.